It has now been a whole year since Angry Birds released its second film. A vast majority of the general public didn't want another Angry Birds film in production, but because of the fact that the first Angry Birds movie was the highest grossing video game movie of all time, Rovio, Sony, director John Cohen, and others decided to give it another go with the sequel. And surprisingly, it exceeded my overall expectations. But does that mean it's a good film and that it's the Angry Birds movie we asked for? I figured why not take one more look at the reincarnation of my all-time favorite childhood franchise on the big screen. This is the Angry Birds Movie 2 Revisited. For those who may be living under a rock, Angry Birds originally came out in 2009 that exploded in popularity upon release, and throughout a vast majority of the 2010s, Rovio became one of the most successful companies in the world. And I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who have played the game at least once in your life. Fast forward to 2015, and it is announced that an Angry Birds movie would be released the next year. And in 2016, the Angry Birds movie set a record for the highest grossing video game movie of all time at the box office, making $354 million. But it was a huge flop when it came to critical reception due to some of its attempts at humor, running gags, and overall creativity with the storyboard. But Sony soon after announced the second film will begin production, and in early 2019, the trailer for the Angry Birds sequel was released. And on August 14th, the film was released into theaters in the US. But is this really the film we expected it to be? Well, here's my takeaways from the sequel. To start off, this movie didn't really feel like an Angry Birds film, to be quite honest with you. It felt more like a family film, to put it lightly. Not saying it was a bad idea though, but that's honestly just how I feel about it. Second off, and this is something that I was catching on that others probably didn't notice, but Baum seemed a bit more dull and dim-witted compared to the first film, if you're asking me. When Baum was first introduced on the big screen, he was seen as this, shy guy who also has a heart for his friends, but tends to explode whenever stressed or angry with basically no odor. The sequel, however, made me view Baum as this dumbed-down character who just says and does the most random things just to get a quick laugh. I especially have a hatred for the baby shark scene. I felt like it was there just for filler and basically to entertain the infants for at least 5 seconds before they fuss again that baby shark isn't on. Thirdly, the sequel took a massive risk on the bondage between Red and Silver. Instead of forming a normal friendship and alliance to complete their mission, the storyboard team took, to me, a giant risk and pushed the buttons of their relationship, which in turn sparked an outrage from die-hard Angry Birds fans who supported other quote-unquote ships. I'll end that conversation right there for you. Lastly, I didn't let this bother me, but I'm sure there's a handful who probably were not happy about this, so I figured why not bring it up. The birds and the pigs teaming up. Obviously, in the beginning, the birds and the pigs were at each other's throats with the prank war, but after Zeta's attack on Pig Island, it felt like the tides turned quickly, in which the pigs went from basically against the birds to now asking them for help. Personally, I wanted to see a slow trust build up rather than just, oh yeah, they're attacking Bird Island, we have to put aside everything pretty much on the fly. Surprisingly, for the main antagonist, Zeta, I really didn't see many issues with her except for, maybe doing a rather logical method of showing her true emotions, but it's a kids film we're talking about here, so I really can't knock her for that at all. Oh yeah, did I mention Silver? Remember the time when I actually had a pure hatred for her? Yeah, that went well. Honestly, Silver has grown on me, and while her design is still a bit odd to this day, and, despite the whole red and silver deal, her personality as well as her smarts, they honestly could not be beat, and I think it actually flowed really well with the movie. Despite all of these points I've made, I wouldn't say that the Angry Birds Movie 2 is a great film, but it is nowhere near a bad one either. I'm pretty much stuck in the middle. It was alright to me. Granted, I did make other videos in the past saying that this film was basically Rovio's saving grace from the downward spiral of the franchise, and over time, I'm starting to realize that I may have went a bit overboard in terms of hype. Maybe it's just the loyalty I have for Angry Birds all these years that made my excitement go through the roof. I don't know. Since the release of the sequel, a lot has changed in terms of not just my opinions, but my relationship with Angry Birds as a whole. Back then, I used to be very critical of the decisions Rovio has made. You know, the transition from the classic ready, aim, fire technique to now pretty much a carbon copy of Angry Birds Pop on nearly every new release. But to be honest, I'm not enforcing them to stop. If that's the approach they want to go, then by all means go for it. I'm just saying it's not made for me, however. Unfortunately, I ended up losing my privileges to be on Twitter around the end of 2018 after some regretful comments I tweeted about, but last year was when I truly had a change of heart for the franchise. Nowadays, I've learned to just relax and just let the franchise be, because no matter what, as much as I want to see the classic shooters back on the App Store, the developers aren't really going to do that. They're trying to shift their programs into bigger markets, and that's the bottom line. The sad thing is, though, is that the fandom is mostly in utter denial when it comes to this stuff, and it's been ongoing for quite a while. Now we move forward to November 2019, 1 month before the game's 10th anniversary. I myself attend the Bring the Anger event in my hometown of New York City. Little did I know what was next to come that day. I not only got the chance to speak with the members of Rovio's social media and marketing team, but also have deep conversations about what's next to come for the franchise. Angry Birds themselves have also dived into my YouTube channel, and then the gel began to form. Not only did they follow my Instagram page, but to this day, I've been heavily more engaged with the AB community, and they've started to notice what I do on YouTube more frequently. And as of this recording, we're actually engaging in conversation of doing some pretty special things in the future. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it as much as I will enjoy bringing it to you, so stay tuned for that. None of this, however, would have been possible if it wasn't for the Angry Birds Movie 2. From this one film, everything changed. Not just myself, but many more blessings came along the way. It may not have been the perfect film, but none of these blessings would have came in disguise if Sony didn't jump the gun on an Angry Birds sequel. Is it a good film? That's for you to decide. Is it a bad film? Hell no! Would I recommend giving it a watch? Absolutely. Anyways, happy 1 year anniversary to the Angry Birds Movie 2. So with that said, I now pass this on to you. What do you think about the Angry Birds Movie 2? Do you agree or disagree with my opinions? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know down in the comments below, and while you're at it, feel free to subscribe to my channel for more Angry Birds and NASCAR content, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. And until the next video, everybody, this is your Angry Birds and NASCAR fan, the Blue Jimmy 48 fan here, reminding you to stay safe, wear the mask, and as always, stay humble and kind.